No, no, no. Not God bless America. God damn America. That's in the Bible for killing innocent people. God damn America.
Connecting with my blue state brethren, I was hopeful that peace was at hand. Why do you think someone would vote for President Bush?
Because they're not informed?
I think people vote for Bush out of pure ignorance.
Somehow the American people have been conned. And I really want to say this distinctly or explicitly. They've been conned.
Very well manipulated, very well maneuvered by Karl Rove, I would say.
The thing that happened with CBS and Dan Rather seems like that was another Karl Rove job.
Karl Rove.
Karl Rove.
Karl Rove.
Karl Rove.
Karl Rove, I want to say, is the guy that's behind this. And he is a Nazi, and his father was a Nazi, so,
I think that people are voting for Bush partly out of fear.
They basically are so fearful they can't expand beyond their fear.
Karl Rove's a Nazi.
Yeah, Karl Rove's a Nazi.
Wow.
So is Bush. So, and they use those tactics.
Yeah.
And that's why, this is not a joke.
They're afraid that there's going to be another terrorist attack because that's their biggest use in their arguments is that we have to protect this country from terrorist attacks, and people believe that.
People that vote for Bush are in some denial.
Your thoughts on the election?
I totally feel this election was stolen.
Democracy didn't happen.
Why do you think he did get reelected?
Well, I don't. Personally, I'm not even sure I believe he did.
Do you think that this election was rigged, or do you think this was worse?
Did you see the Democratic Party?
Everyone who thinks it was rigged, say so.
The discrepancy between the exit polling and the actual outcome of the election make the election overall pretty questionable.
There was a disparity between the exit polls and the votes, too.
Yeah. And
maybe we could probably save everybody a lot of time if they just took an exit poll and forget the voting.
Exactly.
Yeah, cool.
I think a lot of questions need to be asked. Questions, why did he get reelected? Why are we standing at this inauguration today?
There's all these different things that are happening that really replicate what's happened in fascist regimes in the past, where it's intolerance of dissent.
I'm afraid to have a conversation in the airport. I'm afraid to have a political conversation in the airport.
He's moving towards fascism, and I think we're going to see that over the next 4 years.
If you really look up fascism, we are in a Christian fascist state right now.
Despotism, fascism, whatever you want to consider it.
He's the closest thing to fascism that America's probably ever seen.
And it's only right that we ask everyone to pay their fair share. Pay their fair share. Pay our fair share in taxes in a way that is fair. Pay their fair share in taxes, pay their fair share. And it's also about fairness.
Making peace between red and blue might be a little harder than I thought.
I'm a Democrat. I am fed up.
I'm basically a pissed off Democrat.
I know, I'm rising up. I've taken it for 2 elections.
I think people don't sit back and take this kind of abuse forever.
There's got to be something else, because I don't know if the voting is actually working.
I'm part of an organization called the International Socialist Organization. I'm from New York City. I'm a teacher up there.
There's a lot of people that are into socialism and communism, and that's very interesting to me, because it's very inspiring, actually.
The idea of the publications is to spread left-wing ideas and revolutionary ideas in this country.
Stop bitching. Start a revolution.
Us Democrats are going to get up in arms.
I think there needs to be revolution in this country.
We'll have to come out and, do what we have to do in the spirit of revolution.
It's really up to the left wing to get organized.
We'll have to come out and kill somebody, I guess.
There's potentially, tens of millions of people in this country who could be mobilized to fight.
So do you think it's going to take a revolution to fix the problem?
I hope not. I'm counting on the Democrats to come back.
But there could be blood in the streets.
Hopefully not.
Explained by somebody who's making $50 million a year in the financial markets should be paying 15% on their taxes, when a teacher making $50,000 a year is paying more than that, paying a higher rate? They ought to have to answer for that.
In the streets of this country that I love.
Never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. This is corrupt. This is corrupt. This is wrong. This is wrong. Wealth is ruling over the minds. Wealth is ruling over the minds. And wealth isn't real.
Occupy the streets. Occupy the streets. Occupy the streets. Occupy the streets. Occupy.
This is Adam Kokesh at 1 p.m. on Saturday, October 1st at McPherson Square for Occupy DC.
I'm a student at George Washington University. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania originally, and I'm here mostly because I think this is kind of a watershed moment. This is really the first time there's been any sort of widespread action by the parts of regular people. I mean, you have the Tea Party rallies, but I'm not sure this is quite the same. I mean, the Tea Party rallies have been stimulated in large part by an organizing machine funded by corporate money, whereas this was started, I mean, really by some people on Facebook and Twitter.
I don't like basing who is deserving of fair treatment and human treatment in the world on who has money.
Doug just said that he supports the use of force if it's what?
If it maximizes social justice, if it can improve the lot of everyone, if it can increase the standard of comfort among the people, if it can maximize freedom, the ability to live our lives, and it improves our well-being, then yes, I believe there should be force.
I believe force against another human being is always morally wrong, no matter what the excuse or any individual's judgment of what is good for the rest of society, and any initiation of force is inevitably detrimental to human happiness.
All right. I mean, I agree with that. It does do bad things sometimes. Force can be misapplied, but let me ask you this. When you have a wealthy, powerful class, how do you induce voluntary cooperation on them to maximize social justice?
You don't induce voluntary cooperation. You don't tolerate force or aggression in any form.
Well, so what's the solution then?
Raise the standard of morality in society to condemn all forms of initiation of force between human beings.
Well, you can set up a sort of ideological framework to encourage voluntary cooperation, but at the end of the day, the CEO of ExxonMobil or BP is just doing his job. He's still held accountable to a different set of obligations. You can have this private morality, and then you can have the obligations he has to deliver a profit to his shareholders.
This is Adam Kokesh reporting from Occupy DC here at McPherson Square, downtown Washington. We have a small, enthusiastic crowd with big ideas for violent government.
No, no, no. Not God bless America. God damn America. That's in the Bible for killing innocent people.